Welcome to our relationship talk, where we dive into what trust and commitment really mean in everyday love.
Absolutely. It's amazing how something as simple as choosing your partner every day can build that deep, unshakable foundation.
Yeah, think about the idea that trust isn't some magical moment. It's built every time we choose each other, even when we're stuck with Thai beef and noodles after a long day.
Right. And I love that anecdote where even though one partner overindulges in noodles, the other responds with compassion rather than judgment. It really shows the practical side of commitment.
Exactly. It's that little everyday support, like grabbing wine and dark chocolate during a moment of weakness, that cements trust in a relationship.
Yep. And it's interesting because it's not just about the big moments, but also those daily choices that show you care. Even agreeing, albeit jokingly, on a diet together.
Mm-hmm. That moment of saying, we'll start our low carb diet tomorrow, even when you know the noodles are the obstacle, that's commitment in action.
Right.
It's like a silent promise that you're in this together despite the quirks.
I totally agree. And then there's that cool little idea behind the Gottman book's first date, lean on me, trust, and commitment. It really frames the discussion as personal and proactive.
True. And it prompts you to ask questions like, what does trust look like for us? Or, how can we make each other feel safe? It's a really engaging way to explore the relationship's strengths and areas for growth.
Yeah, exactly. Those questions, when answered honestly, can really create an environment of openness and safety. I mean, sometimes it's like peeling an onion, layer by layer.
And that analogy really sticks with me. Each layer is a little risk. You get more vulnerable, but it also deepens the connection.
Right on. But one thing I sometimes wonder is, can too much vulnerability ever be a risk in these discussions? I mean, when does trust become a liability rather than a strength?
That's an interesting point. I think it's a balance. You want to be vulnerable, but you also want to maintain healthy boundaries. Trust, after all, grows when you consistently have your partner's best interests at heart.
Yeah. So it's like trust and commitment are, in a way, intertwined. They build on each other. One creates the feeling of security, while the other requires action.
Exactly. Commitment is, an ongoing action, a verb. It's in the daily decisions, like choosing to support your partner during crises, even when you're exhausted.
hmm And that reminds me of the story where a major health crisis changed everything. When one partner went through a mysterious illness and felt terrified, the other stepped up in remarkable ways.
Yes, that really encapsulates how challenges can bring trust to the forefront. I mean, having someone drive you to the emergency room at, say, 2 a.m. isn't just about logistics. It's about, making an emotional commitment through action.
Absolutely. It's those rituals of care, like back rubs when you're scared, and even leaving love notes, that really show you're in this together no matter what.
And that's where cherishing comes in. When you truly cherish your partner, you make them feel irreplaceable. It's a kind of, constant appreciation that reinforces the promises you make every day.
Right, right. However, one thing that I sometimes question is, what if that appreciation starts feeling like it's taken for granted? I mean, isn't there a risk of complacency?
Certainly, and that's a valid critique. The article suggests that it's essential to continuously reinforce those gestures. You need to remind yourself about what you value in your partner and not just, drift into a routine that lacks active engagement.
That makes sense. It's almost like keeping the spark alive by engaging in intentional acts of recognition, like reciting a sort of top 10 list of things you love about them, even if it seems a bit cheesy sometimes.
Oh, absolutely cheesy, but so effective. I mean, remember the top 10 list in the narrative, where small things like shared laughter, raising children, and even quirks like struggling with noodles were highlighted?
Yeah, really relatable. Completely relatable. And it makes me think, trust and commitment aren't just abstract concepts. They're also measured by those everyday actions and choices that gradually build a fortress of mutual support.
Exactly. Even simple acts, like taking your partner's preferences into account when making decisions, are a form of trust. It means your actions honor that commitment consistently.
Yes, exactly. And to add to that, gratitude plays such a powerful role. When we focus on what we have rather than what's missing, we naturally create more space for, kindness and connection.
Mm-hmm. It's like gratitude is the fertilizer for trust. It nurtures and strengthens it over time. When you're actively grateful, you're less likely to focus on negatives or gossip about your partner.
Right. Speaking of gossip, it's refreshing to see the emphasis on not trashing your partner. Instead, turning toward each other to resolve differences builds trust rather than undermining it.
Exactly. Turning towards each other instead of away during conflict is, so essential. It's a behavioral signal of commitment that recalibrates a relationship after rough patches.
Exactly. And that's where I think relationship assessments, like the free quiz in the article, can be so helpful. They provide tangible ways of measuring how well you know each other and where you can improve.
Absolutely. Those tools remind couples that relationships are dynamic, and a periodic check-in can reignite that sense of intentionality.
Right, yes. Also, I was particularly moved by the illustration that even when life throws massive challenges like loss or health crises, it's the commitment through those hard times that really fortifies the bond.
Precisely. It's during those times that commitment shifts from being an abstract concept to a very tangible, protective force in your life. One could say it's the true test of emotional partnership.
Right on. And considering all that, do you think relationships nowadays could benefit from incorporating these introspective practices more deliberately, like having intentional dates dedicated to this kind of dialogue?
Oh, definitely. It's, like adopting a proactive approach, much like scheduling your physical health checkup, but for your relationship. When you deliberately take time to talk about trust and commitment, you prevent small cracks from turning into huge fissures.
I agree. It's almost revolutionary when you think about it. Remembering that love isn't just an effortless feeling, it's something you continuously cultivate.
Exactly. It's a deliberate choice, a decision that we make repeatedly, day in and day out. And that's what makes it so resilient and real.
Yep. I also love the idea that commitment is a verb, a tangible action, like writing a love note, or even sticking by your partner through their worst moments. It's empowering in a way.
Absolutely. It's like, every small act of kindness or effort becomes a brick in the foundation of your relationship. And even in the mundane routines, like doing the dishes or handling life's daily ups and downs, trust
Yeah,
is
that's spot on.
reinforced.
And isn't that what makes relationships both challenging and beautiful? The fact that they require continuous mindful effort, yet reward you with deep, lasting love.
Precisely. And when you look at the broader picture, how gratitude, cherishing, and daily commitment all work together, it really paints a picture of a healthy, thriving relationship that's built to last.
Totally. It's like a never-ending dance, where each step builds on the previous one, and even missteps are just part of the rhythm.
Exactly. And isn't that dance what ultimately transforms mere cohabitation into a profound, ongoing connection?
Absolutely. No doubt about it. Trust and commitment, built one choice at a time, are truly the pillars of any lasting, loving relationship.
And, as we wrap up, always remember that even the smallest acts, be it a loving gesture or a supportive word, make a huge difference
Right.
over time. Here's to choosing love every day.